My name is Vikaas Kumar. A lot of people come up to me and ask me if I'm from Kentucky, which is a really common misconception because I was only born there. I'm actually from India. So a couple weeks ago I was at a wedding. And I realized that I did not feel like a complete jackass on the dance floor. And it took me a little bit to figure out why, but it occurred to me that every song now is just either like a 4-minute long instructional video or like one move that you do over and over again. You know, you got like this lean like a cholo, teach me how to Dougie, the cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle, all of them, you know, all of them are like the same thing, which is great, because you know, at every dance you got that one bastard who actually knows how to dance and makes everybody else look bad. Yeah, right? Congratulations, buddy, you figured out how to cock block an entire room all at once. So I'm there, and I'm really liking this turn events because now it's like, Steve, get up your head, man, you're embarrassing yourself. Can't you see we're doing the snaky leg? So there. And, you know, my friends are like, Vikaas, I've seen a Bollywood movie. I watched the credits after Slumdog Millionaire. I know all you people can sing and dance on cue. That's like when my cousins came up to me and being like, oh, Vikaas, you lucky dog. All those American girls want to do it 24/7. No. I've seen your Playboy and your American Pie too. I know all the bitches like to get down and jiggy with it. So I was watching TV earlier. One of my favorite commercials came on. The Dos Equis commercial, you know, with the most interesting men in the world. Fantastic, aren't they? Like, so the guy comes on, you know, the narrator's there, he says all the cool stuff about him, and then he comes on, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. And so, he's not supposed to sound like the Count from the Muppets, I'm just terrible with accents. I don't always drink blood, but when I do, I prefer bone negative. So, I've done some acting, and as an actor, I always wonder whether or not I could play a role. So I'm like watching this, and I'm looking at myself, there's no way I could pull this guy off, because he's just too cool. He's just got too much swag, and that's not me. You know, maybe I could play like the most mediocre guy in the world, the most average guy in the world. The narrator would come on. He pretends to be on his phone all the time so people don't think he's a loser. His stunt is just funny enough that people don't walk out. He sounds a lot like Michael Cera. He's the most average guy in the world. I drink beer pretty often. Right now it's this one. It's pretty good, I guess. Stay thirsty. Oh, no, if you're thirsty, drink something. That doesn't make any sense at all. So, one commercial that I don't like quite as much, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You know, because like, as an actual State Farm customer, I'm not sure whether to be relieved or pissed off that doesn't actually work. You know, I'm watching these commercials and I'm too confused by the fact that these people seem to have discovered teleportation and nobody else seems to give a shit. The first commercial comes on and it's like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. How did that person just, with a sandwich? Oh my God, sandwich! Which is great, you know, because it's a fantastic use of resources. If I want to file a claim, I'm on hold for 45 minutes. If I want turkey and provolone and rye, boom, State Farm is there. It seems like everybody's having kids lately, and not just because we have a new one. It seems like everybody's having kids lately. You know, which is fine, because I like kids. One of the things I really like about kids is their complete lack of appropriateness for any given situation, right. You know. So it's like my cousin, she's got a 2-year-old son, and it's getting late, so she changes him into his pajamas, these really bright, multicolored striped pajamas. And she goes to feed him, you know, open wide, here comes the airplane. By the way, terrible lesson we're teaching our children, you know? If the kid's got any imagination whatsoever, that's going to be a horrifying experience. she comes back a few minutes later, tells him it's actually time for bed. Now, he's been sitting there with his toys, just about to pass out, nodding off, but as soon as he hears the word bed, he's like, spoiler alert, he's like Neo at the end of the Matrix, he just wakes up from the dead, no. He just stands up and gives her the meanest scowl you've ever seen. Which is downright impressive because he's still in these pajamas. If you put me in those things, I wouldn't be able to say a word, but him, maintains all of his dignity looking like a Rastafarian zebra. He looks like a spokesperson for Juicy Fruit, but he manages to maintain all of his dignity. I have to respect that. I really miss being a kid. One of the things I really enjoyed is elementary school. One of the best parts of that was how we'd stop class, 25, 30 times a year or whatever, because it was some random kid's birthday, and his mom, God bless her, brought cupcakes for the whole class. And on that day, if it was your birthday, it didn't matter who you are or where you're from, if you were the most popular kid in class, or Javier de Santiago. On that day, you were a national hero. I'm just really glad that my parents loved me, and so I wasn't born during the summer. Because, we always had that one kid who was like, hey, guys, my birthday's coming up in June, do you mind? Shut up, Randall. You enjoy eating your cupcake alone during the summer. The frosting tastes like crippling loneliness. So one of the other things I really loved about elementary school was that recess. The little 10 to 15 minute period in the middle of a 7-hour day where we all just went apeshit. And I loved recess. I was one of those kids who, if you ask, like, what's your favorite class? Oh, I like recess. It's so cute, it's not really class. But, we loved it. They let us out and we'd go crazy, We lived here, the weather didn't stop us at all. It's 120 degrees outside, we go straight to the jungle gym to play tag. On a metal jungle gym. We didn't give a fuck. Not even fun. And so, we're out there. One of the things I really looked forward to for elementary school was this amazing contraption known as the seesaw. Because I saw it on my favorite TV show, The Rugrats. A baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do. That's my best Sylvester Stallone watching The Rugrats, apparently. So, I'm just pumped. I'm ready. The first day of school rolls around, the recess bell hits, and I'm ready to go for what will clearly be like the greatest experience of my young life. I get over there and the bell rings. I just beg a bowl for it to be first in line. I get over there, I'm standing, and now I was that adorable little kid who said, I like recess, but there was one other type of kid, the kid who says, I like lunch. This kid, we'll call him Andrew Mercer. And I look up, and little Andrew is standing right there on the other side of the seesaw. He's little 5-year-old Andrew, already like 5'9", 180 pounds. He's standing there. So I'm not going to let that stop me. I've been waiting for this for too long. So I sit down a little bit more apprehensively now because I know we got like a problem with weight ratios going on. Andrew's not even really paying attention. He just reaches up, pushes it down, and sits there. And nothing happens. And I am stuck in the air, as the handlebar digs into my crotch. Until little Andrew gets bored and decides to move on to his next activity. Presumably to go make a protein shake or take a shot of snack pack. That's my time. Thank you guys